Our guest Charlayne Woodard is here, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to add her to the stage now.
Mm-hmm.
Charlayne, can you hear us?
I can hear you, but I don't know how to allow you to see me.
Oh,
well,
there should be a camera icon on the bottom of your screen that you can just hit or turn on.
I hit.
Oh, well that took you off, but you're still in the back. You're in the backstage area of our studio.
Okay, I'll bring her back out.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
No worries, no worries. I was having issues before and yesterday, so it's just it is what it is.
So maybe you'll just have to hear me.
I mean, yes, we can continue to proceed with these wonderful interviews and stuff. But yeah, normally there is a camera icon or something
I see the camera icon, and when I hit it, it did that thing.
It did that thing. Okay.
Huh. Because I see the microphone, the camera, what looks like
the camera with an X with a line through it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That means that your camera's off.
Yes. Yeah. If you.
Because I do that with the line, and then I click, and then it popped me back.
Oh, it put her in the backstage area of the studio once again. I see.
Okay.
I guess certain elements of technology are being fickle today. Well, I mean, but yeah, I get. But once again, we are happy that you are here.
Yes.
And so am I.
Yes. So we'll go on. We'll continue to proceed. I'm sorry that you may or may not be having some technical difficulties here, but we're happy that you're here. We're happy that you're able to join us and be a part of Otherworldly Fundraising of 2025. And we're happy that you're here. So we'll go ahead and proceed, as one might say in show business.
Yep. And I am going to one more time play the video explaining who we are and why we are here this weekend.
Otherworldly Fundraising is a group of friends who decided to use our nerdy talents to help others. Our charity this year is Options Save Lives, which helps individuals fully recover from alcohol use disorder. Thank you for joining us this weekend and for donating to this worthy charity.
All right. And that was my beautiful wife, Rebecca, who filmed that video. So I'm going to leave you two to get on with the show, and I will see you toward the end.
Thank you, kind sir. Appreciate you, Steve. And Charlayne, it's great to hear from you and have you here with us this weekend. And I hope you're doing well, yes?
Well, I am, yes. I would be doing better if you could see me.
Yes, of course. I mean, we are sorry that you're having some technical difficulties here, but but we're grateful that you're here with us. So, if you don't mind me asking to get things going here with getting the train rolling, there's one role that you played that stood out to me amongst your many wonderful, wonderful characters that you portrayed over the years. Now, when I was in high school, there was a play that we did in our theater program. I was an actor at one point, yes, and we did the play known as The Crucible by Arthur Miller. And I remember that there was a movie adaptation of this with Winona Ryder, Daniel Day-Lewis, and you played the character of Tituba. So what was that audition process like, and what was your experience like being a part of that film?
Oh, wow, that was crazy. It was outrageous. First of all, I was a big fan of Nicholas Heitner, the director, because of the film he'd done, and about he did a film about the king. Oh, well, anyway, I was a big fan of his, and I was looking forward to meeting him. I came into the audition one day, and I was reading with the casting director, and what I loved was once we had read a scene, he gave the casting director a note, and she became better. And then we did it again. And it rocked, But I'd never been in an audition where usually if the casting director isn't working the way you need the casting director to work, you lose the job. But he gave her an adjustment. and she took it. And we were working. And I felt very good with that audition. And when I got it, the real interesting thing was meeting Arthur Miller. Arthur Miller Big fan, of course.
Yes.
And I get that, we were there, me and the girls. We had been there for like 2 weeks in Eastern Massachusetts, Northern Massachusetts. And we were there for like 2 weeks, doing all kinds of theater games and movement and just bonding, all of us with Winona. And then we had to do the read through. And on the day of the read through, I was very excited. I was going to meet Arthur Miller, So we're in this little, there's this little cottage, and I walk up the walkway and I see him talking with a group of people. And then the producer came to me and he put his arm around me. He says, Arthur, I want you to meet Arthur. And Arthur was talking to Winona.
Yes.
And he was really into her. And Winona's really like, I could see she's going, oh my God, I'm talking to Arthur Miller. It was like that. But I said, I'm trying to get his attention. So is the producer trying to get their attention so that he could introduce me. It never happened. So I said, oh, let me just go and eat a bagel and cream cheese. So I go into the kitchen. And I see Daniel Day-Lewis, and he's putting cream cheese on a bagel, and I'm trying to catch his eye. No connection at all. And then now my heart is pounding because I'm about to do a read through with the entire cast, Joan Allen, all of these divas, and here I am. I'm feeling bad. So I went outside. I sat down on the earth. Tried to ground myself. And then when we get into the room, I told Winona, I'm sure he'll just have us ease on through the read through. As Nicholas Heitner says, okay, everyone, have at it. And then I realized all of my scenes are basically with John Proctor. That actor couldn't be there that day. So who am I reading with? Arthur Miller.
Oh my gosh.
I'm reading with Arthur Miller, who's sitting at the table. And finally, there we are in the script. And he said, have at it. And everybody hit. And, Tituba comes in very early on. We hit. I'm talking to this John Proctor, whom at this moment I totally hate. And we're at it. We're coming out of our chairs doing this scene. And finally we're standing. Both of us standing. It's like, I saw you with the devil, blah, blah, blah. And when that was over, then they just all hell broke loose. The reading, we never did an intermission. We read that thing. It was on fire. And then I go back to the earth. I'm sitting out there on the grass saying, thank God I showed up. And do you know, I hear plop, 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 plop down this flagstone path. And there, this man with big hands grabs me by my face. I stand up and it's Arthur Miller. And he's going, what is your name? Who are you? I said, I'm Charlayne. He said, you must have played this before. I said, no, I played Abigail in college. And then here comes Daniel Day-Lewis introducing himself. Sorry, we're meeting like in the play.
Yes.
As long as we met, y'all, as long as we met. And that was the beginning of the work on The Crucible. It was amazing. Everyone was there for the entire shooting of it. We shot on an island off the coast of Massachusetts. And they tried to make that island as close to the times as they could. They even had pigs bred the way people had bred those pigs back in those days. So they were tiny little feeble pigs. It was wild. It was absolutely wild. And every night we were encouraged to come to Daly's. They gave us dinner and we all came and we watched the play, the show unfold. It was amazing. It's an amazing experience.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Thank you for sharing that with us. Yeah, because when we were learning our lines in high school, our teacher had us watch the movie to get an idea for the character. Because I was playing Deputy Governor Danforth in the play that we were doing at my high school, and I had to learn over 200 lines. And I got to be honest with you.
Did you count them? You counted them?
It was, well, my director slash teacher, Miss Garing at the time. This is before she got married. Miss Garing would look at me and she says, "Hey, just so you know, you have 200 and like, I think it was like 215, 218, somewhere in that area." And she's like, "You have this amount of lines." And I said, all right, well, this is going to be a bit different than playing a police captain in a one-act play here. So, so I was like, oh my gosh, you have me have 13 lines in my first one, which is a one-act play. Which, by the way, one-act plays are very fun to do. And then I go to this my next year in high school. I think the first one I did was sophomore. This was junior year of high school that I was doing the Christmas one. I thought to myself, what have I got myself into? What is going on?
You must have seen talent there.
I suppose Miss Garing at the time did, and she's still a good friend of mine to this day. I still keep in touch with her. She goes by Mrs. Johnson now, and she married my high school U.S. history teacher, Mr. Johnson. So there you go. That's how those two got together. Yeah, and they're doing very well. They have 2 wonderful daughters now, and
is she still teaching and encouraging? Oh,
she's teaching theater. She's teaching English, and then her husband, Mr. Johnson, is the headmaster of my high school.
Those teachers are priceless in our lives.
Yeah,
we meet up with them and at an early age, and they see something that we don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so shout out to Miss Garing / Miss Johnson, aka her first name is Joy. So Joy, love you. You're awesome. Thank you so much. But yeah, it was a challenging role for me to play. I'm not going to lie to you, but it was great. It was fun. At the end of the day, I was very stressed during that time when I was learning my lines. I was very stressed. Yes. And then when we got to the staging area, we got to opening night. Opening night is key here, folks. It's a big one. And my family was there. Some of my friends were there, and I did it. I was like, okay, this is showtime. I got to get into the headspace. I got to get, and I did it, and it was great. We had a great show. It was a great turnout. It was a great experience. It was a great learning experience for me, to be perfectly honest with you. And then I went on to do some other roles in other plays that were dramatic or comedic, because I like comedy, because I grew up watching comedic films as a youngster. Mm-hmm. And we did a play called The Curious Savage, and that was a fun play to do as well. So I got my feet wet when I was in high school, and then I ended up directing a one-act play when I was in college. So, so yeah, I tested the waters, and it wasn't easy, I'll be honest with you, but it was a great learning experience.
Well, live theater is never easy. It is the most difficult of all of the mediums, if you ask me. But that's the challenge of it all. Mm-hmm. That's part of the challenge. Mm-hmm.
It certainly was, but I did learn a lot. So there you go. Thank you to all my teachers, and especially Miss Johnson and people in college theater. Go Towson, so to speak, because I'm in Maryland. I'm in the state of Maryland. Just to give everyone some context. Go Marylanders. Yeah, I went to TU. I went to Towson University, just to give you a heads up. So there you go. Go Tigers, which is such a generic name. It's such a generic. Tigers are everywhere, Charlayne. They're everywhere. So
Go Tigers.
I know.
I went to school upstate New York in Albany, New York, to Albany High.
Oh yes.
Yeah, we were the Rangers.
The Rangers.
Yeah. Nobody knows. But I went to school at the Goodman School of Drama in Chicago.
The Windy City.
Yes, indeed.
And how was that experience?
Oh, well, I love being in conservatory, 24/7 immersion in the arts. I was in heaven I was made for it, and I loved the audition process. I loved the roles we played. I bought into the whole thing, so that when I came to New York City, I was ready to take on any challenge, any challenge, because I'd so committed to school like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's understandable. It's understandable. Just go after it, folks. Mm-hmm. Wonderfully so. And by the way, Kristen here in the chat has a wonderful question for you. She asks, can we talk about the experiences on the set of Cindy?
Oh, my first television job.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh, well, that was something else. I know it was just wonderful being on that set. When I got to, it was shot on Paramount Lot.
Oh, yes.
Yes, they gave me a little bike so that I could move all around the lot all day long, riding on a bike with baskets and everything. I think at the time they thought I was a kid. And they even asked me, is your mother, your father, or both coming with you to I told them, no, I'm of age. It's just me. And but I really felt what it is to be the lead in a show in television, because, in theater, even if you're the lead, it's a great equalizer. Everyone seems to be very equal and treated equally. But on Cindy, I was treated like a princess, and the thing is, I did lie at the audition when they said, "Can you jump double dutch?" I said, "Absolutely. Oh, yes." And the day came when I had to shoot a double dutch scene where, and these girls are playing double dutch, and then Cindy shows up and they think, oh, she's country. And then she jumps in and she turns it out. Well, that's where I was exposed. And they saw I couldn't even jump in. It was just, we were wasting time, it was just terrible. And finally, they chose one of the background women who had legs that were the color of mine. They gave her my sneakers.
Really?
She jumped into those two ropes, and Yolanda Graves, she could double dutch like you never believe. She turned, she squatted, she hit the ground and came back. It seemed like, oh my God, I'm fabulous. That was a good day. And I was working with Nell Carter and Elena Reed and Clifton Davis and Scully Mitchell and all of those iconic kind of people,
Oh my goodness.
At the time,
Yeah.
it was I was singing a lot. I didn't come to New York City to sing. I thought I would be doing drama, but I ended up going to this audition. Juliet Taylor cast me. I was in the revival of Hair.
Oh.
And Juliet Taylor, the fabulous casting director, she came and she saw me playing my violin in the Tribe, and she said, they called and said, would you like to come and audition for this? I didn't even have an agent.
Oh my goodness.
And that was good. Didn't have to share that little bit of money with anybody, but your first job. So, but that wasn't the point. I would have paid them $1,000 a week to do it.
Really?
Yeah, but it was wonderful. It was basically unbelievable to get out of school and get that job.
Wow.
And at the time I was doing Hair, the revival, and Hair, the film with Milos Forman at the same time. So when I got that job, I still had to do white boys in the filming. So I had to go to Milos. I went to him with an armful of roses, and I asked him if he could move my scene up, because I have the opportunity to be a lead in a TV movie of the week. And
my goodness,
he did.
Oh.
So I shot White Boys. That's the song. And then the next day I went to LA. Crazy, right?
It is. I got to be honest with you. That's it's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
It was crazy. It was a crazy first 9 months in New York City.
9 months.
Because then after Cindy came out, like on a Friday, on Monday, I had the audition for Ain't Misbehavin'.
Oh my goodness.
The Broadway show.
Oh yeah.
That was moving from Manhattan Theater Club. Because the director, Richard Maltby's mom, I think, saw Cindy.
Oh.
And said, why don't you use her? That's the story I've been told. I still had to audition and everything like that.
Oh, the proper channels, I see.
Oh, yes. No one knew who I was. Even so,
That's interesting, though.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Wow, what a ride.
It was a great ride, yeah.
Yeah. It's just gee willikers. That's one for the books, if I might say. Let me see. Kristen goes on to say, how many different theaters was Ain't Misbehaving in?
Oh my goodness, I don't know.
Too many to count?
Well, I know it's been going on since 1978.
78.
All over the world. I
Hmm.
did it on Broadway. I did it at Her Majesty's Theatre in London for 6 months. I
Mhm.
did it in San Francisco at the Gary, and I did it here in LA at the Aquarius Theatre. And after that, I gave it up. I met the prime of Miss Jean Brodie. You know, Downton Abbey. Yeah. Why am I forgetting her name? But anyway, I was told, don't do this show forever and ever and ever.
Really?
Yes. She said, a very fierce actor. She
Yes.
said, you could do this show forever. You could get married and raise your kids and send them to college off this show. Get out of here and do something else.
Whoa.
And so after the Aquarius in New York, in LA,
Mhm.
I left the show and started a very fierce off-Broadway career.
My goodness.
I was happy because, I love originating work. That's
Do you?
Oh, I love originating work. And I think off-Broadway is the most interesting stuff. The most interesting playwrights, the risk-taking playwrights. And so I love working with these guys.
Wow. A lot of talented folks out there. Let's not kid ourselves here.
Mm-hmm.
So can't forget about that one. And Kristen, you're just on fire with these questions, young lady. She says, what was Dietrich Bader like as a pretend husband on Fresh Prince?
Oh my God, Dietrich! He was the best. We've remained friends whenever I see him somewhere, but he was the best, And what was funny about that episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air where I'm getting married and I bring home this my white fiance, shocking to everybody. But at that time, I was about to get married in 2 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
So it was art imitating life.
Yes.
Because 2 weeks after that, I was in Big Sur on a beach, Pfeiffer Beach, and my fiance Harris and I were getting married in the sunset. So Dietrich started something.
Wow.
He's one of the best actors. He's just the sweetest man and so much fun to work with.
Wow. Art imitating life. You're on set for 1 minute, the next minute you're getting married in IRL. That's
There you go.
Well, I mean, I know this is X amount of years after the fact, but congratulations on that occurring. Goodness gracious. That's a story for the ages, if I ever heard one.
Mm-hmm.
It's wonderful. Congrats. I'm happy for you. I really am. That is just...
Well, mind you, that marriage was 31 years ago.
I know, but still, I know it's long after the fact. I'm sorry I haven't been keeping up to date on certain elements of news here, but my God. It's still amazing either way. I'm just saying. I'm just, I'm just being honest. But with that being said, there was one role that stood out to me amongst your many, many wonderful characters you portrayed over the years. I remember watching this movie a lot on VHS, and there was this young man who was sitting in front of the scene was he's sitting in front of a television set with his cousin, I think it was. And he says, "Can you believe it? He's talking to Janice." And it was Eddie Griffin who said those words. And Eddie Griffin says, he's talking to Janice. And little did I know that you played the news reporter Janice in this film, The Meteor Man.
Wow, you guys are really... Well, yes, I did. This happened when I first came to New York City. You see, I knew Robert Townsend. He became friends of mine, a friend of mine in New York City before he came to LA. And I knew him from I met him at a party at Ossie Davis's and Ruby Dee's house after they had done a play. And I went to the cast party. And we became friends from then on. We'd be in my living room and coming up with skits and things. And Townsend is the best. And you can't be around him without creating some kind of madness. And then when I came to LA, he said, "Woodard, you could stay with me until you get on your feet." And then he says, "You want to do Meteor Man?" And there I was, in Townsend's show, you know. Yeah. Yeah. At least I didn't have to audition. I'm horrible at that. But yeah, I did do Meteor Man. We shot that in Baltimore, Maryland.
Which is only 30 minutes away from where I'm sitting right now.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I met James Earl Jones on that.
Wonderful talent that will forever be missed.
Right.
For sure. Yeah. What was your interactions like with James? How was it?
Well, we were in the makeup trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Makeup and hair.
Oh, yes.
And so, you know, all that razzmatazz that everybody speaks in makeup and hair. It was that kind of thing. Just only makeup and hair. I didn't have a scene with him. But he was a very, I must say, very witty and humorous man. You know, we think of him as very serious and very, you know, no.
Stoic.
He was like, you know, we're the players. And so he was playing. It was refreshing to meet him and to see he had such a great sense of humor.
Wonderful man. Always going to miss him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, voice of Papa, aka, you know, Mufasa. Ooh, do it again. Mufasa.
And also,
you know.
he was Star Wars.
Yeah, don't forget about Vader. Can't forget about Vader. I mean, you know, you're talking to a guy who grew up. I mean, all of us grew up watching Star Wars anyway. But yeah, Star Wars kind of goes without saying. But you know, Mufasa and the Lion King, and then Terrence Mann in Field of Dreams. You know, let's not forget about that.
I saw him do the original Fences on Broadway.
Oh, that must have been something, wasn't it?
With Courtney Vance.
Oh my goodness!
It was fantastic. You know, that's where I loved seeing his. I saw him do Othello at Shakespeare.
Did you?
Oh yeah, I loved his stage work. I loved it.
That's amazing, man. I wish I could have been there to see some of these performances. I've missed out on a lot of things when it comes to stage shows and Broadway this and Broadway that. I mean, now granted, when we were in high school theater, our teacher would take us up to New York on Broadway and see certain shows. So I did get a chance to see shows like Hairspray and Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. You know, things like that. What was the other one? Oh gosh, why am I blanking on this? It was Hairspray, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Why am I? I can't think of the third one. I apologize, but I've seen some stuff.
Yeah,
I have.
I saw James Earl Jones do Robeson on Broadway on a night when he was absolutely sick with the flu, and to watch him just handle that sickness, use it, and give us a performance that made us rise to our feet in the end. It was great to see that. And that taught me something like, yeah. So you're sick, so you still go to work and use it.
Mm-hmm. It goes back to something we've all heard many times before. The show must go on. You know, show must go on. Yeah, we were
very much like that back then.
Oh.
Now, you know, it's a little different now. It's a little easier now. You can actually stay home and not feel bad.
Yeah.
But back then, the show had to go on. You know, now if I say, oh, my sister's getting married in 2 weeks, I'm allowed to go to that wedding. But back then, in those days, I missed funerals and weddings and everything, you know, because the show had to go on. And, you know, off Broadway, you don't always have, or you rarely have, a stand-in.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, can't argue with that one. Bit of a challenge there, and And by the way, Kristen, you bring this up now. I was gonna bring this up myself, but she says you've worked with Samuel L. Jackson on so many different things, whether it's Unbreakable, Glass, Secret Invasion. Any fun stories of working with Mr. Glass? Because you played his mother, so.
Damn, I played his mother at first, which is funny, and then I played his mother again. But I was very upset with Sam for becoming actually getting older, which meant that I had to use prosthetics so that I could look older than Sam.
Oh.
So that was pretty. Challenging. But anyway, he's great fun to work with because, talk about play. First of all, be ready when Sam is ready. You know, he does not come to the set until everything is ready. And when he pulls up with his group of hair and makeup and costumer, and they get out of that big SUV and they walk onto the set, and it's like, places, everybody, let's do this, because he's ready, you know. And then, of course, the playing of it is kind of wonderful because, you know, we're friends. We've been friends for a long time. I knew Sam and LaTanya from New York City days. I knew from New York City days when all they did was theater.
Yeah.
And his wife and I, we go to the same church, you know, so he's a friend. So you know what it's like when you're working with a friend. It's fun, you know, and he's loud and he's the boss. He's the alpha on the set, always, you know. I remember, you know, sometimes you make these suggestions, you know, and I said, you know, Sam, why don't you just direct? You need to be, he says, oh no, I'm not directing. Directors make no money. Are you kidding me? I get paid by the word.
What? What is
like, oh no, let's just keep it just the way it is.
really?
Yeah. But
Wow.
he's a great fun person, and to do his wife was lovely, just lovely. Finally, I didn't have to wear you know, a fat suit or credits, you know. Yeah. And then we spent 6 months in London. Was wonderful. Shooting in London. Yeah.
That's splendid. That's what I hope.
Big old funster.
Yeah, so definitely sounds like. I mean, you're talking to us, and this is the same guy who played Mace Windu in Star Wars. So you know, and he was very excited that he got to pick his own colored lightsaber. So yeah, he was. Yeah, George looking. He said, "What saber do you want?" Oh, I want a different color. It's like, all right, we'll give you a different color. And Sam got it.
Sam gets what Sam wants.
But I mean, granted, I grew up watching him, more specifically Samuel L. Jackson, as Julius in Pulp Fiction. So, and he didn't take no prisoners in that either.
Right, that was so fierce.
I mean, he had the hair and
the hair is what got me.
I know, right? It was weird, right? And then he had the sideburns coming down. You see what I'm saying? He had the beard and everything. And he's like, "Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, blankety blank. Say what one more gosh darn time." You know, it's just.
But the film I really love that he did, where he was amazing, was with Matthew McConaughey. The film where his daughter, they were down south. It's
A Time to Kill.
A Time to Kill.
Yes.
He killed in that.
Well,
He was amazing. It's worth watching over and over again.
I've seen it. Great film. I've seen it. I actually own it on Blu-ray, believe it or not. It's true.
No, he was fierce in that. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't take no prisoners when they hurt his daughter. So,
wow.
That was no joke, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you got McConaughey, Kiefer Sutherland, Sandra Bullock, right?
That's right. That was a cast.
That's an A-list cast if I ever saw one. Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, Sandra Bullock, that girl from The Bus. I mean,
right, right, from The Bus.
From The Bus, because she was in Speed with Keanu. I mean, come on, Dennis Hopper.
Come on.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Speed's one of my all-time favorite action movies. I'll be perfectly honest.
Yeah, you're an action movie guy.
Well, I've been that way since I was about 5 or 6. Because when I was about 5 or 6 around that time, I was watching movies and television series that were on Fox Kids at the time. I was watching Batman, Spider-Man, X-Men. What was the other one? What was it? The 90s? It was Power Rangers. Power Rangers was a big deal back then. And then I watched action movies that included GoldenEye with Pierce Brosnan as James Bond, because my dad got me into James Bond. Thank you, Dad. I love you and I miss you dearly. He took me to see the film The Mask of Zorro in 1998 with Antonio Banderas and Anthony Hopkins. And let's not forget.
Good. I love that.
Let's not forget about the very beautiful Catherine Zeta-Jones, ladies and gentlemen.
Jones showing up in that one. That was fabulous.
Yeah. I mean, she captures the screen. She lights it up. As one might say. Yeah, that's one of my all-time favorite movies. So if I'm making a top 10, top 15 list, if I want to say this correctly, Mask of Zorro is going to be in there. I'm just saying.
It deserves that place, yes.
I'm just saying because, I watched that and, and then we were talking about this earlier, right? I mean, Field of Dreams is in my top 5.
Oh, I love that too.
I mean, let's not forget about that one. The Golden Eye, because I grew up watching Bond, and Batman '89 with Michael Keaton has a huge influence on me. So
Michael Keaton, I did One Good Cop with him.
what was that like, by the way? What was that like? Working with the man himself, Michael Keaton, Mr. Mom of all people.
I was like his partner, and I loved it. I loved it. I got to be a cop. You don't really feel like a cop until they put that thing around your waist and you're carrying all those handcuffs and the gun and the whole thing. It was fab. It was like really, I felt quite fierce in that.
And I'm assuming Michael
shot it and it was in New York.
New York,
where we shot on the street, that was the first time I was shooting on the street in New York.
No kidding.
After that, Special Victims Unit, we did it all the time, years later. But that was the very first time of being in my beloved New York City and shooting on the street.
Wow. Was Michael Keaton a hoot?
He's marvelous. Yes. Oh, he was, and he wasn't like being hooty, like a hoot. He was being, it was a serious role. And so he was, when we worked, rather in it. He wasn't a jokester. He wasn't joking around in character. That's Beetlejuice.
Yeah, but he's very good at his craft.
Oh, no, he's brilliant. He can't, I followed it. I tried to follow his lead. That's all you can do, I've worked with some pretty spectacular people,
Yeah, I mean, you haven't.
I've worked with some great people.
That's very true. And I grew up watching SVU. Law and Order is a big deal. So, and it's still going, by the way. It's still going. I don't know if you've heard the news or not. It's still going 25, 30 years later, which is insane to think about. Mariska, you haven't aged a day, Mariska Hargitay. But what was it like playing Sister Peg? What was that like?
That was great. I was doing a play. I just started rehearsals for a play at the Public Theater. And I got the job and they assured me, it's only one episode. It's only one episode. I said, fine, I'm doing a play. I can't do many. And after that, they kept calling me back and back and back for about 8 or 9 years. It was wonderful. Working with those two. I always worked with the two leads.
So it was Mariska Hargitay and Christopher Maloney.
And Christopher, yes. And working with Christopher she's a doll. She's a sweetheart. And he is just like he seems. We would be out on the streets of New York City and women would be driving by in big SUVs going, oh my God, you're my man. Women loved him. Screaming out in the air, He was wonderful. He was and he was tough. He was tough. He was seriously tough. He'd say, it's I've got a softball game to coach at later on today, so let's get this going. In a way, he was in that Sam kind of groove, Let's get it going. He was the alpha on the set.
But with a name like Elliot Stabler, it kind of comes with the territory.
Come on, he was great.
Stabler.
It was great always working with them. Like we were partners, And I got it was interesting to get letters from nuns that said thank you for showing us as we are.
Beautiful.
I wore, some secondhand clothing. I helped the community. I had, what did I have? A soup kitchen.
Yes.
Condoms,
the outfit,
prostitutes, all that.
That's dynamite. Man, that's just superstardom rolled into one. But yeah, Mariska and Chris, come on.
They were the best. Right?
For sure. And Kristen brings up a wonderful point. Any stories from Mayfair witches?
Mayfair witches. Well, I'm a real Anne Rice fan. From the very beginning, Interview with the Vampire. I read everything. And so when I was given this job, I was very excited about going to New Orleans. I had never been. And this is, we're of course shooting after Katrina. So it's a little different kind of New Orleans. And what I loved was, my cast, it goes without saying, my producers and the writers, but the city of New Orleans was really the character that took over the whole thing. It's just the people are they're not like normal people in America, and that city is not at all. It's just singular. It's its own thing, and all of that food and all of that music and their stories. Just to listen to the driver talk about what happened when Katrina happened and how he left and went over to Texas, and then he went to Arkansas, and then he went to Nashville, and he says, no, I have to go back. I have to go back to New Orleans. This is where I live. Their stories were amazing, and they're so giving and so lovely, so generous. I love working there, and I love working on that show. Scary. I don't like horror, but
okay. You and I both. I'm not the biggest fan of the horror genre either. I respect it. I respect it as a genre, but I'm not the biggest fan of it.
It took me like 4 weeks to watch Sinners.
Boy.
In sections, because it was, to me, it's scary. Get Out. It took me 4 weeks to watch that.
That was a creepy one.
Mm-hmm.
That was a creepy one. Sinners I've yet to see. I apologize, but Get Out was when that guy looks at the main character and says, "You need to get out." I'm like, what is happening here? This is so weird.
Jordan Peele is brilliant. Very brilliant. It just got under your skin. Yeah.
Well, he has a great creative mind, Jordan Peele. Yeah, let's give the man some kudos here. That's a creative mind you're dealing with here. So there's no doubt about it. But if someone wants to start getting into acting or maybe even playwriting, what advice would you give that individual?
Well, I became a playwright out of necessity.
I see.
I wanted to not do musicals. I'd done them for 15 years. And I came to LA, and then I saw, now I'm doing sitcoms. And I thought, that's good, but when am I going to do a show with no song? When am I going to use words? I'm in class, I'm in the actor's studio. What am I going to do? And then I got out here, and you realize you're not working 8 shows a week. You have weekends off, and you don't work every single week. So I found myself free. And when artists are free, we explore other things that have to do with creativity. So I decided I would write a play, and a play that I could do all by myself, maybe at the actor's studio, and not have to have a partner or anything. But that whole thing just blew up, and there I was, at Manhattan Theater Club doing Manhattan Theater Club did 3 of my plays. But the thing to do is, for acting, I think everyone thinks they can just jump up and do it. You can't just jump up and do it.
Right.
Training. I'm a real believer in training.
Right.
And nowadays, when I came up, it wasn't like everybody went to conservatory. But now, for all my young actors, I let them know all of your competition is coming out of Yale and Carnegie Mellon and Juilliard. Everybody's going to all of these schools, and these guys are ready to work straight out of school. So I tell everyone, get into class, get hooked to a teacher that you could keep working with for years. I'm still with a teacher. I take class from Salome Jens.
Really?
And I've been doing that for like maybe 12 years now. Whenever I'm not working, I'm in class. I'm at the actor's studio, surrounding myself with people who share the passion I have for acting. And that's important. And how do you surround yourself? How do you feel like you're part of a community? Well, you have to go to class. You have to join groups. And you have to just take the work. Say yes to everything. That's what I say. Don't get persnickety in the beginning. Just say yes to everything, because you don't know what's going to be that thing that cracks you open and takes you to the next level. And I don't mean the project itself, but the working on the project. can crack you open and make you better, if it doesn't kill you. But I mean, no, it's really important to me to stress class and training, and so you get some craft, because everyone's, for the most part, that's what people are doing, and you want to be a part of that number. And as far as writing plays, I love it when actors decide to write for themselves. After we'd been, I'd been working for a while when I decided I can tell a story. I had originated so many shows in New York City. I was a part of that whole thing. So when you're a part of originating a lot of work, a lot of times you could throw in your own little stuff. Off Broadway. They're not paying you enough money to just take orders. You can join in. It's a collaborative thing. And in joining in, you get to see another way of being in that play, So when that theater, Fountainhead Theater, became available to me, I could actually use it. You want to be ready for whatever opportunity shows up. And action begets action. So sooner or later, opportunity is going to show up. That's what I feel like.
That's very true. And thank you for sharing that with us, and that great pieces of advice. Yeah, I joined a writer's Discord, and it's improved my writing and learning from the other writers. And I got a short story published earlier this year for the very first time in an anthology. It was a Western.
There
Western.
You go.
Yeah, it's called Wolf of the West. Yeah. That was a big.
What was it?
It's called Wolf of the West is the name of my short story. It's a Western. It's part of Western Tales Volume 1, presented by Veritas Entertainment, which is the name of the publisher. It's a new one that's on the scene, led by Nate, Casey, and Luke. They're a great group of guys from the state of Pennsylvania, and they're very, very good to me. And I've learned a lot from this Discord, and because I'm learning from them, hearing them, it got my creative wheels turning again. So now I'm doing writing again, because I started experimenting with it a little bit 5 years ago during the pandemic when we were in lockdown, respectively. And then I stopped, and then I picked it up again in the last several months by joining this writer's Discord more specifically. And now I got a story published. And if you had told me I'd be a published writer 20 years ago, I would have said you were crazy, because I'm very good at verbalizing what I'm feeling, but I'm not very good at putting thoughts down on itty bitty little pieces of paper. But nowadays, I got ideas for stories, Charlayne, and I'm just going to town on that keyboard. Punch the keys, for God's sake, and I'm just doing it.
Bravo. That's
Thank
right.
you.
That's what happens. Yeah, you do have to have your little community around you, and that's what keeps you going. And inspiration is everywhere. What did my director, Vinette Carroll, she said, artists don't have the luxury of staying in their bubble. Because
there you go.
The choices. It limits what you do. You just have to get out there, and being with other people, that you're definitely out of your bubble as soon as you have to be with other artists. So.
That's very true. But yeah, the community I've joined has been very, very good to me. So I know, right? No problems here, folks. It's like it's another ticket to paradise, something like that. I don't know. I'm coming up with things on the fly here. They don't call me Ryan the Quote for no reason, because I'll just throw a movie quote at somebody, and sometimes they get it, sometimes they don't, and that's okay. I'm just saying. But no, it's it's what happens when I watch all these movies. To tell you the truth, the whole script goes right up here, and I can quote it back to you verbatim.
Really?
It's true. Yeah, I've done it with the first movies I ever remember reciting the words to was when I was in kindergarten or first grade. This is going back to elementary school, everybody. And I was quoting Ace Ventura, Pet Detective with Jim Carrey. And then I was quoting the genie from Aladdin with Robin Williams, because once again, and this is another thing too, Robin Williams, we miss you. We love you. Great talent, lost way too soon. But he and Jim Carrey inspired me to get into acting. So.
Wow. Look at that.
So we got to give those two titans of comedy / entertainment value, if you don't mind me saying.
That's right.
Kudos.
That's right. They were monsters.
Yeah, and I grew up watching Disney movies like anybody else. Aladdin is my favorite Disney movie for a reason, because it got me into acting. My favorite
is the Lion King.
Oh, who could? That's in my top 3. That's my number 2.
The Lion King, Hamilton. Hamilton changed me for musicals forever and ever and ever.
Is that right?
Forever and ever and ever. That was something else. You cannot see the writing in there. You cannot see how there's a template for making a musical. You don't see it. You
Hmm.
don't see it in Hamilton. It's brilliant. And I didn't see Hamilton until I knew that script by
Yes.
heart. I knew
By
those
heart.
songs and everything. And then finally when I saw it, oh my God, they blew me away. Unbelievable cast, unbelievable costumes, unbelievable choreography, and just brilliant writing.
Mm. Fair point. Fair point.
Been late for musicals forever. Ever since then, I see everybody's formulaic thing happening with musicals, but never with that. That was phenomenal.
That's a fair point. Fair point. Yeah,
Mhm.
Hamilton's changed the game for a couple of different reasons. Are
Oh,
you going to be in the theater when Wicked for Good comes out?
in the theater, well, I'll always be in the theater.
Well,
Oh,
the
you
movie
mean
theater when the movie comes out, I mean.
Oh, yes, you know I'm going to see that on the big screen.
You're going to see it opening day?
They're oh, I don't know about opening day, but that I can't always make opening day, but I do love seeing. I think it's good to be back to seeing movies,
Mhm.
and live,
Mhm.
But,
Well, that's a
Wicked
fair
is one
point.
of those that you've got to see on the big screen. You just
No,
have to. Some of them you don't have to, but that's one you have to. And
it's
I'm
absolutely
looking forward
absolutely
to it
fair.
because she is, though that they're so amazing. I want to know what's the second part. What are they going to do? Come on, Stephen Schwartz.
Stephen Schwartz. Oh my Lord. Yeah, it's coming, folks. Wicked for Good is coming. So get yourself some tickets. when it hits theaters, for sure. But yeah, no. I mean, like I said, some of my best experiences growing up were going to the theater with my dad. My dad took me to the theater all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So got to give the kudos to the old man. Love you, Dad. Miss you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, he got me into James Bond, Zorro, all these different kind of movies. He took us to see the Disney movies when they were coming out in the 90s. My mom, my dad, I have two older brothers, by the way. So I have two older brothers. So we would go and, see certain movies as a family when we were early years growing up. So it was fun. Those were some good times. There's no doubt about it.
I had a teacher named John Veely, and
Yes.
he turned us on to theater. He took us down from Albany down to New York to see
Yeah.
shows that blew us away. I remember Ain't Supposed to Die a Natural Death. It's way before your time. And it was Melvin Van Peebles, and it blew us out. I mean, the whole class was like going back home on that bus. We just, I know for me, it made me know that I'm going to spend my life on stage. I knew it then in high school.
Wow.
Yep. All you need is that right play. And that play was, it wasn't like every day I saw a play full of talented Black people back then. We take it for granted now. But back then, that was amazing.
Like a light switch turning on for you.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly. Uh-huh. And it was Cicely Tyson's work.
Oh, my.
That let me know that it could work, because of just how she looked even was like, oh, she's little, she's petite, she's dark, she has slightly buck teeth. Well, that was me,
Oh.
and she was strong, and she was, you got a low life and job, Mr. Sheriff, Sounder, and all of those. She was just in every single thing she did, she slammed. And I said, there you go. I know that this can work because I see it working for her. I mean, those were those days. And Toni Morrison, her novels where she wrote from, the Black lens. I really said, that's the first time I said, I wish I could write. I never grew up saying, I want to write. But when I started reading her Bluest Eye and all of her, great shows, her great novels, I wished that I could one day write. That was the big thing.
That's amazing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say earlier, that's really amazing stuff for sure.
And then I was lucky enough to do a workshop of the one and only play that she was writing about New Orleans.
Ah, the Big Easy of Louisiana.
Mhm. So I spent like 3 weeks in a room with an amazing cast, and Toni Morrison. It was
Wow.
wonderful. It was called New Orleans. Yeah, about the red light district of New Orleans.
Ah, now I see.
Mhm.
Like,
Odetta was in it. That's where I made friends with Odetta. Y'all don't know who Odetta is. Carmen de Lavalade, all of those people. Bernard Eichner did the music. He's Everything Must Change. He wrote that. So it was that was kind of wonderful to actually be able to work with one of your idols.
Yeah, that's, I mean,
Have you done that yet? Have you worked with one of your idols?
I got to be honest with you. The experiences I shared with my fellow castmates in high school and college was good, but I never got a chance to work with some of the actors outside of that environment. Don't get me wrong. But no, I haven't had a chance to work. If I saw Jim Carrey right now, I'd probably pass out because, like I said, I grew up watching him so many times. But no, I haven't had a chance to work with anybody yet. But I do. But if an opportunity presents itself, I would love to do it. I mean, I've met a lot of actors at conventions, the comic book conventions that are around the world.
Yes.
I've met Peter Cullen, who was the voice of Optimus Prime on Transformers. I've met Mae Whitman from Parenthood, the TV series Parenthood. She was very nice.
Yeah.
Mara Wilson, I've had a chance to have a bit of a conversation with from Mrs. Doubtfire, because she played, one of Robin Williams' daughters. I mean, I've met so many wonderful actors, and I've talked with them and asked them questions like, what is it that got you into acting? What was it that inspires you? I actually asked this question when I was at panels at conventions, and I still do to this day. I always ask an actor, what is your favorite motivational quote or something that you heard in your career or your life that motivates you? You know what I mean? And I always get a different response from each actor or actress, and those have been great conversations. So I've had conversations with actors, Charlayne, but I haven't had a chance to actually work with them. But one of the beauties of doing these events, such as Otherworldly Fundraising, plugs, or other shows like this, that I get the chance to speak with them and hear from them, and they, are very respectful, very supportive. And this is, so far with this panel, particularly with Charlayne Woodard on Otherworldly Fundraising. Don't forget to like and share this with your closest friends. And if you have any questions for the guests of honor, let us know in those comments. Let us know in the chat. What's up? And this has been very, very good for me. But no, I haven't had a chance to work with any of the actors yet. But if I do, I would love to work with Patrick Stewart, aka Captain Picard from Star Trek, because I remember him as Professor Xavier in X-Men. And it's funny because someone posted this on social media this morning, and it's a good friend of mine. He said, today is the 38th anniversary of the debut of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Today?
Yes. It debuted on September the 28th, 1987, the same exact day that yours truly was born.
Well, look at that.
I know. It's got to be kismet, right?
I remember standing in line for that.
Did you?
With a multitude of young people. We were over on the east side, and we were in line for hours partying, waiting. That's right. That's right. That's what we were doing on your birthday.
That's something else. That's something else. But yeah, no, it's true. But yeah, if I ever get a chance to work with Patrick Stewart or some of the other actors I remember from television, I mean, I met them in person at conventions, but I would love to work with Michael Rosenbaum or Tom Welling from Smallville, my favorite TV series of all time, because I love Superman so much. Superman is near and dear to my heart. So, or just there's a venerable who's who of actors or actresses, like Amy Acker would be wonderful to work with, right? I mean. There's I could granted I could go on and on here, Charlayne, but there's so many wonderful actors or actresses I would love the opportunity to sit down and work with. I mean, Erica Durance, who played Lois Lane on Smallville, there's another one for you. And Jamie backstage, who's one of our producers. Yeah, he's nodding. He knows what's up. Or Laura Vandervoort, who played Supergirl in Smallville. Basically, I like to work with the cast of Smallville because I'm a Smallville fan.
I'm very impressed at how you can remember all these names. My goodness, they just fire off like bullets. I'm not good at that.
Hey, listen, we still love you. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. Craig Bierko, who was on with us before you jumped in here, he had a little bit of trouble remembering certain actors as well. And I was like, oh, you mean this person?
I love that you could pick it up. Yes, there you go.
So yeah, it was great. And Craig Bierko is a great talent in his own right. Let's not forget about Craig. So yeah, no, I'm kind of like a walking, talking IMDb. for people. You know, I don't know, Jamie, you can attest to this, right? I mean, you're sitting backstage looking at me right now like I'm from outer space, but it's true. I'm just joshing you, Jamie. He's just being silly back there. But just out of curiosity, though, if you don't mind me asking this, who is an actor or actress you hope to work with in the future that you haven't worked with yet?
Well, I'd like to work with Viola.
Oh, Viola Davis.
Well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to work with her. I think she's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And she does great work. I love the film that she did where she was, that the war, and it was a true story of these warrior women in this African country. It was wonderful. She's amazing, and I'd like to work with her.
That would be nice. That's for sure. Any
do a play with her.
Yeah, that would be something. Speaking of Fences, she was in an iteration of Fences.
Oh my God, I saw her on Broadway in that. And before she did that, I saw other people do it, but it was never a role that I thought, I want to sink my teeth into that role. Not until I saw Viola on stage.
Oh.
And I sat there and not in the good seats.
Oh, you were in the...
I was upstairs, honey, and she reached me. They reached me, that she and Denzel. That was amazing to see it,
Wow.
And I'd seen it years before with James Earl Jones. But what she did with that role, she just did a big breath of life into it, because August Wilson's women are not all so intense and
intense, yeah,
and they're not all so complicated as that. But she had explored every nook and cranny of her character, and
wow.
it was a beautiful performance. I think she won the Tony for that.
I believe she did. If someone wants to fact check me back here, feel free. But yeah, she did. And then, Denzel goes without saying. He's one of the greatest of all time. I grew up watching Denzel in films like Glory with Matthew Broderick.
Oh, Charlie was fabulous in Glory.
I
loved Glory. That's still one of my favorite films.
And I've seen war films, but that one to me is the best.
That's the best of all of them. It really is. And the story, every time it comes on, I have to see it. That and Gladiator. I stop everything when it comes on. It's like, oh, Gladiator. Oh, Glory. I have to stop everything and watch it.
The 2 G's, ladies and gentlemen. Glory on one end, Gladiator. Oh, you're not entertained. It's just, come on.
No, I loved Glory.
It's a great film.
Mm-hmm.
Great story too.
Yeah.
It's absolutely. What was I saying earlier? Brilliant. Mm-hmm.
They did a good job on that.
It's great. Matthew Broderick, Denzel, Carrie Elways, Morgan Freeman. Don't forget about Morgan. And by the way, and Kristen just corrected me back here. She says Viola Davis is one of the few people who have won a Tony and an Oscar for the same exact role.
Yes, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yes, indeed.
Well, thank Kristen for fact checking.
I tell you, she's fierce. I tell you, I want to work with her.
Well, I really hope it happens for you. I got to be. We're going to put it out into the ether. We're going to put it out into the universe.
Put it out there.
Yeah, we'll put it out there in the universe. And then, after you work with Viola, who's an actor you want to work with? Is there a gentleman out there you wish to work with at some point or another?
An actor.
Yeah, that you haven't worked with yet, aside from Viola?
You know who I really, really loved, thinking of Glory, was Andre Braugher.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
I worked with him once at the Delacorte in New York, where we did Henry IV. But I would love, I know he's gone on to glory, but I would have loved to do a play with Andre.
Oh, he was, speaking of SVU, he was on SVU too.
Well, everybody was on SVU. I was going to say, on orders.
Everybody was, from the Orbachs to the Samuel Jacksons to the Chadwick Bosemans. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman.
You have to do one of those Law and Orders.
Mm-hmm. Robin Williams was on SVU. Just
Robin
everybody.
Williams? He
was on an episode of SVU.
Wow.
You might have to look this one up if you have an opportunity to do so. It was very, very good.
I didn't know that.
He was. It was season 9. Season 9 of SVU. He was on an episode.
Mm-hmm. No, he was quite wonderful. He went to Juilliard. He went to Juilliard.
He did, alongside Superman himself, Christopher Reeve. They were best friends / roommates at Juilliard. And I find it funny that Christopher Reeve went on record by saying, we had a discussion with Mr. John Houseman, and he said, Chris, you're going to be a wonderful actor from the stage unless they pay you a load of money to do something else. Like, I was like, what? He said that to get out of town, man. So yeah, I thought that was funny.
When I first met Andre, he says, I only do Shakespeare. I only do Shakespeare. I saw him in one play
really?
at Manhattan Theater Club, a 3-hander, but he was great with verse. Yeah, he was great. But when I met him, he had all that. And then, of course, he just lived on television. But, but he did say, I only do Shakespeare on the stage.
Wow. That's amazing. Great actor, great talent. There's no doubt.
I always wanted to work with him again. Like really, because, for the role I had in Henry IV, I didn't work with him.
Wow. Man, R.I.P. We've lost a lot of great legends over the years.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, but their legacy is going to live on. I mean, a lot of the roles, and whether it's in film and television or the stage, of course, they're going to live on forever and ever and ever. That is for certain. Which kind of it. How do I put this? It begs the question. What writer, living or dead, would you love to have a conversation with, and why? Any writer, and this could be of any genre. It doesn't have to be something for the stage. It could be anything.
Well, oh my goodness, I love so many of them. I love, oh my goodness. Well, I've had conversations with Toni Morrison.
Oh yes,
that was lovely to know her and to listen to her, just to sit at her feet. It doesn't get any better than that, But what writer? I'm a real Tennessee Williams fan.
I know this one. Yes,
I love Tennessee.
Yes, that'd be a good one.
And then there are all these. Lynn Nottage. These playwrights like Lynn Nottage. Do you know Lynn Nottage?
Unfortunately, the name doesn't ring a bell.
Oh my goodness!
I'm sorry to disappoint you.
Playwrights. You have to look her up.
I will.
She is fabulous, and I did a play of hers once at Playwrights Horizons. But when you're working with Lynn, it's not like you're getting to know you. You're just working with her, and she sits there like the Sphinx and watches you. You know what I mean? But her work is amazing. And she's another one I'd like to work on, one of her plays. You see.
Splendid.
You have to. You have.
I got to look this up.
You have to Google Lynn Nottage.
Yes. Lynn Nottage. All right.
There are a lot of really great playwrights.
I'm going to do my best to look this up, do some research, do some readings here, and so on and so forth.
Yes, you should know Lynn Nottage.
Yeah, I should.
I shouldn't say that. Really.
I should. I know. I'm a little behind on certain things, Charlayne, and I apologize that I am. But, first of all, there's only so many hours in the day. And secondly, when you're working one's a full-time job, a second one is a part-time job, you're working 43 hours a week, and then you're trying to delve into your writing on this side of the fence, and then I'm hosting 3 podcasts a week, to be perfectly honest with you.
You're excused. You are excused.
I'm very busy.
You don't have to know everything.
I know.
And it does seem like you do.
Yeah, I mean, I do 3 shows a week, podcasting wise, and you're working 43 hours in 2 jobs, which, don't get me wrong, the jobs are good. And my part-time job, where I get a chance to teach film analysis to a group of undergrad college students and autistic adults, because I have autism myself, and work within that community at Towson University, by the way. This is at Towson University more specifically. Yeah. And it's at the Hussman Center for Adults with Autism, in case anyone's wondering where specifically this place is. It's great. I get to share my love of movies with other people. So that's always a joy for me. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
But that's always good. But on that happy-go-lucky note, I do want to take this opportunity at this moment to say thank you to Charlayne Woodard for being a guest during this wonderful festivity known as Otherworldly Fundraising 2025. Charlayne, it was great having you here.
Thank you. It was lovely talking to you. Lovely conversation.
It has been an honor and a privilege. And I learned something new today. Look up Nottage when I get off stage.
You better Google that diva.
We got homework, Jamie. All right.
Is amazing.
We got homework, Jamie. He's looking at me backstage. But yeah, this was great. Thank you for being here. I wish you nothing but the best with everything moving forward. And we hope to have you here again someday. We really do.
All right. We'll do that.
Yeah. Absolutely. But thank you for being here. We wish you the best. And for those of you who just joined us, thank you for tuning in. Steve, one of our wonderful producers, is here to take the reins. But thank you for being here. I mean, even though you may or may not have been having some technical difficulties, Charlayne, we love you all the same. Bless your heart. Bless your
Oh, that's okay.
Bless
it was
your
a
heart.
great interview.
Bless your soul.
My hair for this.
Did you hear that, Jamie? Did you hear that, brother? But it was great having you here, and we wish you the best, and we hope to have you here again. So God bless you.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Otherworldly Fundraising is a group of friends who decided to use our nerdy talents to help others. Our charity this year is Options Save Lives, which helps individuals fully recover from alcohol use disorder. Thank you for joining us this weekend and for donating to this worthy charity.